Yes, hello. It's me. I actually went on maybe like an hour or two ago, and I did the Heart Chakras poem. It came from an emotional place, and so that's why my soul was like, "Do it now," without the green. But I kind of like the different colors, and I really want to put this one on YouTube. There's a reason behind it because right now there's a lot of people that's getting on, and they're probably just seeing like the solar plex, and a lot of them are curious to know who I am and where I'm going with all of this. It has a lot more to do with your ability to master yourself. There's a lot of who are you, but I've been posting, so if you really wanted to know, you can go on my timeline. I mentioned that inside of my live. There's going to be some things that's a little repetitive because that right there was just me, just releasing that negative energy, but it wasn't really in a negative way. That's the way you can also go to align your chakras, just addressing issues and then letting it flow like water. So it's not so much that you won't have to deal with them, it's just your ability to manage them. I also want to say that this is a learning environment. So there's plenty of people that could teach me stuff as well. I started off by just pretty much trying to like let people aware of what I, read. If they find something that counters it, hey, feel free. Say, listen, I read this here, whatever. I'm fine with that. I actually encourage that because learning is growing. Um, I was mentioning inside of my life that some people really are stuck in a box. I did make a mistake, and we were talking about the Earth. It's as far as it being a sphere, like actually round, and it is round. But what I was trying to say was like the poles, the top and the bottom, actually are flattened. Okay, so that's what I mean, more like a plane. You could look that up too. Just like anything. So I just want to point that out. So the heart chakra is pretty much about the emotion, the heart, love. Surprisingly, it is green. It's not red like a lot of people usually use. I actually wanted to let you know that it's about love, forgiveness, compassion, self-esteem, coping skills, flexibility, growth, sharing, and trust. The reason why I am going to also go into the word frequency is because I use that interchangeably. I mentioned that inside of my live, but this is being recorded, so really what I think I could put it a little bit better. What I be talking about is more so like electromagnetic fields that controls waves that then turns into vibrations. And then I gave an example of the waves moving slower when it's a solid cup versus the waves moving faster because it's water, and then even faster because it's light. Um, and so I like to say that, and there's a whole bunch of other things that could go along with that, but my live is there. I was just talking about like the earth, and I was also talking about the tree that I had posted. I actually stole that from a cool guy that goes around and take pictures of all different kinds of trees. Very interesting. I love it. That's also on my page. And then I also started like I wanted to say that the heart chakra is where your soul actually is. So it's characterized as a place of unstuck sounds of the subtle body. So unstuck sounds meaning you get to a place where you kind of like let everything out. Like you're not thinking about job, you're not thinking about this, you're not thinking about that. It's just a clear space and it's just you and your soul. And y'all pretty much communicate with each other. That right there takes a lot of time, sometimes for some, sometimes for others, it might not. Some people are not interested in that at all, and that's fine. What I'm saying to you is that it's possible. Um, and then I also started off with like the scenario, the first one being a husband and wife with a child, going through rapid currents in a river, uh, driving, the car is in the river, them saving the child, because only one could be saved through the broken glass of the emergency crew. And in that case, it was kind of like preserving their species, like, preserving their daughter. It was instinctual, like, oh, wow, that's our child. She'll most likely have others, and so on. Then I gave another scenario similar to that. I mean, not really similar, but about a nosedive plane, the oxygen tank, the oxygen mask, the wife trying to put one on herself first and unable to save her husband next to her because she decided to put the mask on herself first. I just wanted to say that right there is an example of like self-love. So the first one is kind of like universal love, and the second one is about self-love. Like, how can you actually help somebody if you can't even help yourself, if you can't save yourself, put the mask on yourself. That means self-love, self-care, take time, energy for yourself. So the reason why I don't really want to go into love is because love varies in so many different ways, in frequency as well. Some people might wonder why somebody stay with somebody that they argue with and they be together 20 years, 15 years, whatever. That's because they're on the same frequency and it works for them. You know what I'm saying? Yelling and screaming and all of that. Some people take it to another extent. But if they stay together and it's working for them, that's their frequency. Not really here to judge. Just point out stuff. Again, some people, they survive off of their root, meaning that they mix symbols. They mix sometimes what people say. They add, they subtract. The kind of thing that you play when you inside of junior high, or not a junior high. Dag, that's too much credit. I'm talking about elementary school. You know what I'm saying? Telephone, then by the end, the message is all unclear. I'm about to head off and do this real quick. Just so that you guys understand. I feel like I express myself better in poem, but a lot of times I like to also break things down as best as I could. So here we go, guys. The heart chakra is green, symbolizing rebirth, renewal, and immortality. A lot like the cycle of the life of a tree. At this point, you are no longer stuck together with what you once knew. You realize your soul self exists in its truth. Your soul speaks to you as a guide in essence. It directs your path, no question. You realize the true love begins with yourself and how it affects vibrations. It's like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. You'll be visiting different places. It's when you drop your ego. You realize your importance, your frequency is no longer zero. You no longer look outside yourself for that super duper hero. It is where you create emotional balance, where you respect yourself and others even through challenges. This is where trust and sharing is developed. This is where that abused person let go and heal because they are mentally and emotionally fed up. This is where others' opinions begin to fade away. This is where your soul tell you about you truly are, who you truly are in the past and present day. This is time to heal your battle wounds of your experiences, where the blame no longer matters. You don't have to fit in. You forgive yourself and not for others. You realize self-criticism was not helping you to recover. This is the time where new ideas are formed. Your old ideas of sustaining is no more. Good and bad begins to take a different form. You realize they coexist and you make your own norms. Your love emotion takes you to a heightened state. This is where you realize all forms of life interrelate. This is where you are one, but also connected to the masses. Some call this the dark night of the soul. I call it getting your ass kicked. That's when reality set in like a mug. This is where balance is truly needed. This is where the entities send their demons. You learn to flow like water in this chakra. You choose the frequency of the things that doesn't try to stop you. You give your heart openly to the things that matter to you. Eventually, your frequency will bring a new crew. This is where the true gods and goddesses are buried until they reach out and get some clarity. Forgiveness is key in this chakra in order for you to release negative vibrations. You realize you have to face it. This is where you love, but from a distance at times, especially those that don't want to see you aligned. You respect their game, but you have one of your own. With self-love, negative entities dissipate. Poof, be gone. You also see the good in the world. You see things at a cellular level. You see hearts of pearls. If darkness did not exist, your light could not shine. You wouldn't know bliss. Gods and goddesses, try to master this. I also mentioned inside of my life this little notion, treating your soul like a newborn baby, feeding it, cleansing it frequently, and making small sacrifices so that it can grow healthy and continue to grow. You're not supposed to stay the same. Concepts are there for you to learn from. You learn a concept, it don't work for you, leave it alone. Simple, right? We've been talking about choices since the root chakra. That's all that we've ever talked about. It's just different dimension of choices. That's it. I actually just wanted to end this because this is going pretty much longer than usual. But I'm going to end it here and say, there's an author named Harry Crew. He says something very important. There is something beautiful about all scars of whatever nature. A scar means the hurt is over. The wound is closed and healed. This is Dac Goddess, D-A-C Goddess. All right. Leaving you guys. Good night.